Hello, hello, hello. This is Greg from OnlineLanguageAcademy.com, and in this video I'm going to answer a very common question and a very common thought of many students, and that is, should I speak, or is it better to speak slowly and correctly, or quickly but with lots of mistakes? So keep watching. Okay, this is a very common feeling among language learners, and not just English language learners. If you don't know me already, I studied French at university and lived in France for 1 year. I then moved to Spain because I loved the experience in France so much, so I moved to Spain to learn Spanish. And I just love learning languages. I love communicating with people of different nationalities. When I was in England at university, I had many friends of different nationalities, and they were there really to learn English and to study at an English university. So I've always, really, since I was 18, I've always loved communicating with foreign people in English or in, later in their language when I was speaking French or Spanish. So I've been on both sides. I've been the listener, listening to people who want to speak quickly. I've spoken to people who want to speak correctly and slowly. And I've also been in the situation of trying to speak French correctly and slowly because it was important for my degree at university. And I've also spoken Spanish where I just didn't care about mistakes. I just wanted to communicate. I wanted to live in the country and communicate, to have a good relationship with people there. So let me tell you, taking all my experience into consideration, my personal view is that it's much, much better to speak quickly with mistakes. All right? Mistakes are not necessarily a bad thing. And if you make one mistake or two or three mistakes when you're speaking to someone, they're still probably going to understand you. What I've noticed is when you try to speak absolutely correctly but slowly, the person you're speaking to is going to be a little bit more bored. I don't like the word bored, but they're going to think, okay, you know what, this conversation's going a little bit slowly. I'm going to speak to somebody else. I felt like that at parties, in international parties. I have felt like that in real life. Obviously not in class. All right, when I'm teaching, I have 100% patience. But in real life, yeah, would I rather speak to a foreign person who is going to speak quickly but with some grammatical mistakes, or to somebody who speaks very correctly but extremely slowly? I'm going to have a better time. I'm going to have more fun speaking to the person who speaks more quickly and with more mistakes. Even in an interview, the person you're talking to in an interview wants to hear a natural rhythm of English. They're not interested in perfect grammar. The conclusion is, don't worry too much about mistakes. So much emphasis in schools is put on absolutely perfect grammar. You do an exam and your mark is based on how correct your grammar is. And in real life, if you want to make a friend, if you want to make a sale, if you want to get good relations between colleagues, clients, people on holiday who you want to talk to, then the perfect grammar is not going to help you do that. Speaking quickly and speaking without worrying too much about mistakes, That's gonna help you. And the best way to do that is to practice your conversation. You know, have conversation classes via Skype. Practice, use it. Go to events where they speak English. Just speak as much as possible. You know, it will become more natural. It will. Believe me, I've seen it. I've taught for more than 10 years. I've seen students who speak regularly. After a short amount of time, they begin to speak more quickly and more fluently. And that's what we want. So there you go, bear that in mind. And if you are interested in improving your fluency, your conversation skills in English, then why don't you try a conversation class via Skype. You can meet one of our native English teachers for 15 minutes free. The link is in the description below to book your free trial class. And hey, if you've liked this English tip, please subscribe on YouTube for more tips to help you with your English. All right, thanks for watching, and I will be in touch soon with more videos. Bye for now.